Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's right-hand man and a major contributor to the billionaire's current wealth. He fundamentally transformed Warren Buffett's investment strategy from purchasing ordinary, cheap businesses to superior, moderately priced businesses. He is a savvy investor and businessman, which has contributed to his net worth of $1.8 billion. We'll be looking more closely at Charlie Munger's portfolio in this video. What stocks has he purchased to increase his wealth? Let me give you a short hint. There aren't many Mungers. Diversification is not his favorite thing. In an interview, he was questioned about his satisfaction with an undiversified portfolio. He said this: "Am I comfortable with a non-diversified portfolio? I'm relaxed, of course. I'll care about the Mungers if you steal them. The Munger family only owns a small number of equities. The remainder is scattered throughout. I therefore feel at ease with a few stocks. Am I truly wealthy? I am, and you're damn correct." There are 7 main stocks owned by Charlie Munger. So let's examine some of the important stocks that Charlie Munger, one of the greatest investors of all time, owns. Stock number 1, Costco. Ticker symbol equals cost. Charlie Munger owns more than 180,000 shares of Costco, which accounts for a sizable portion of the Munger family's holdings. Sadly, they are not required to provide the exact size of the portfolio. However, Charlie adores the stock wholeheartedly and has even made a call to his preferred business outside of Berkshire Hathaway. It's one of the most admirable institutions of capitalism in the world, and its CEO, Jim Sinegal, is among the most admirable business people to have ever lived. He raved, "I simply cannot express how much I adore Costco. You should look at Costco more often. In fact, you should consider Costco anytime Donald Trump says something that makes you feel defeated." But anyway, we should probably start talking about what the company is actually, and to be honest, I think most of you will probably already know what Costco is. That's a higher amount of praise for someone of Charlie Munger's stature. The Fortune 500 list of the largest U.S. firms by total revenue places Costco at number 14, making it the second largest retailer in the world by revenue. In terms of their items, Costco really does sell everything. They undoubtedly performed daily tasks including grocery shopping, healthcare, and personal care. They handle everything. In general, they provide the buyer with these things at excellent value. So the question is, why does Charlie Munger buy Costco and invest a significant portion of his wealth there? I'll let Munger respond to that. He stated, "Every year it strives desperately to provide clients with a slightly better service. Other businesses make money by finding methods to save money. It is distributed to customers via Sinegal, the co-founder. It resembles a religious obligation. He is foregoing immediate gains in order to achieve long-term success. The goal of Costco is to provide long-term customer service. This works, and it's one of the reasons they were able to grow the business to have a market value of $130 billion. Charlie Munger has a large fortune, one of the factors that have made him who he is. Stock number 2, Berkshire Hathaway. Ticker symbol BRK. Anyone who is familiar with Charlie Munger knows that a significant percentage of his wealth comes from Berkshire Hathaway. He is not required to reveal the precise percentage of Berkshire that he owns, but I would imagine that it is for over 30%. Then I'll show you why Munger owns Berkshire Hathaway, after briefly outlining what the company actually performs. A holding corporation for conglomerates. Berkshire Hathaway. Basically, this essentially means that it's a corporation that invests in numerous companies. They can see what Berkshire owns by looking at this picture, I suppose. Evidently, they directly own a number of businesses, such as Geico, See's CandyNet. This list contains several well-known companies, and Berkshire holds stocks in companies like Coca-Cola by Wells Fargo. However, you should be aware that if you buy Berkshire, you also own a number of high-quality businesses and stocks, and you should also be aware of who is in charge of investing the majority of the company's funds. The best investor in the world is Charlie Munger, as is Warren Buffett. He has known that Warren Buffett has been a buddy of his for more than 60 years. Why wouldn't Charlie Munger make an investment in Berkshire Hathaway? Is the proper question to ask. The reason he holds so much Berkshire stock is very clear. Stock number 3, Himalaya Capital. Manager, Li Lu. This is really fascinating. A large percentage of Charlie Munger's assets are held in an investment vehicle called Himalaya Capital, which is run by a capable individual. A China-focused investment vehicle called Himalaya Capital is located in Lilu. The Chinese Warren Buffett is Charlie Munger. Munger's Lost Chinese Concentration Fund contains between $400 million and $500 million. Charlie Munger responded when asked about Li Lu, and he thought of her. He is somewhat of a Chinese Warren Buffett. That really helps, he remarked. He is fishing in China in part, not in the crowded, oversearched, and fiercely competitive American market. In any case, the fact that Charlie Munger holds a sizable chunk of his own family's portfolio with Himalaya Capital should not come as a surprise to you. It reveals to China how much wealth he has, and Li Lu, a representative of Warren Buffett in China, runs it. Stock number 4, Wells Fargo. Charlie Munger, as I've said before, is not a fan of diversification, and his managed portfolio is no different. They only own 3 stocks. The first is a stock called Wells Fargo, in which Charlie Munger has put 1.6 million shares in an account worth 80 points, $3 million. The stock has a weight of 51 points, 6% in the portfolio that Charlie Munger manages, making Wells Fargo the first investment. The fourth largest bank in the world is Wells Fargo. Different banking and investment management services are provided to private customers, small companies, and commercial banks by granting loans to clients and then charging interest on those loans. Commercial banks are able to profit. One illustration of how Wells Fargo generates revenue is that, of course, they also make money through other sources and by managing people's investments. Why do I bring up banks so frequently? Because this industry makes up a large portion of Charlie Munger's holdings. Stock 5 and 6, Bank of America and U.S. Bancorp. Sector, financial. As a result, investors in U.S. Bancorp and Bank of America each contributed $7.7 million, or 5% of the portfolio, and $67 million respectively. Both companies are bank stocks. You should logically deduce from this that Charlie Munger has a significant stake in bank stocks. In fact, it comprises the majority of his managed investment portfolio. Specifically, Munger stated, "The banking sector has proven to be a gold mine. I believe Warren and I made a mistake. We ought to have made significant bank investments." So now you know that bankers can still make a lot of money in this industry while having a mediocre level of skill. The fact that they are so inexpensive and the fact that Munger owns so many bank stocks are both contributing factors. When he purchased them in 2009, they were inexpensive. They remain so today. Just take a look at these items. PE ratios, for example. Munger loves bank stocks because of this. Stock number 7, POSCO. Ticker symbol PKX. Munger's investing portfolio's final stock holding is a company called POSCO. Just 0.3% of the portfolio is made up of stock. which they possess for $460 million. I don't want to talk about it too much because it makes up such a minor portion of the portfolio. POSCO is essentially a Korean-based steel corporation, but Charlie Munger has sold off the majority of his holdings. Therefore, talking about it too much is not worthwhile. Remember that Charlie Munger purchased 7 stocks, the first 3 of which he purchased using the net worth of his own family. The final 4 were ones he acquired using his investing capital. He worked as a manager at Corp, a daily newspaper. Charlie Munger only owns a relatively small number of stocks, which is the most important thing you'll notice about his portfolios. Lay, Costco, and Berkshire. Unrestricted funds, many people will likely consider this to be foolish, but assume you met someone in your community who claimed to be the owner of 3 respectable local businesses. Do you consider him to be well diversified? Do you believe he's a wealthy man? You would, of course, and Munger holds the same view regarding diversification. He believes the idea of excessive variety of folly. Chuck Munger, finding areas where it is prudent and safe to avoid diversification is the key to successful investing. Simply put, diversification is for amateur investors. Professionals shouldn't use it. Chuck Munger, at the end of the day, you will make a lot of money if you can identify a few high-quality companies at a reasonable price, just like Charlie Munger did. So, do you find famous investors' portfolios fascinating? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to Wealth-ology for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video.